Welcome back. Where have we been?
Where haven't we been, Lockie? That's the real question.
How comfy is this setup? I actually like this.
Yeah, we've been trying new setups in our one-bedroom apartment. We've only got a couple of weeks here, though, before we move again.
And we don't even know where.
We don't know where we're going because we just have like the wildest back half of the year.
It's been wild and it's been chaos.
Yeah.
In a fun way.
It's been really fun, but there's been just a lot of moving around, touring. We just came back from a cruise, so we actually flew into Miami.
We did that last week.
Did we?
Yeah, San Fran.
Oh, see? I forgot where we've even been. I'm like, oh, yeah, we have had a trip in between that.
Yeah.
So
San Francisco was where we were.
So pretty much
recently.
as soon as we came back from the cruise, we did some washing, packed up, and left again.
Yeah, we had 24 hours, or just over 36 hours. Wild.
Yeah. And so Shepherd were supporting an artist called Nico Moon. Some of you may know him, you may not, but he's a country artist. He's quite big here in the States.
He's got some bangers. I wonder if I can quickly play 20 seconds or something. Let's see.
Yeah, he's got some really good songs. And I think it really vibes with Shepherd. It's positive, summery, but he's definitely more on the country side.
Yeah.
And we'd be more on the pop side. We flew into San Francisco, and it was actually at wine country, so sort of like the Napa Valley region, and it was really beautiful. So it was kind of out of San Francisco a bit.
Yeah, it was in a place called Santa Rosa. It was very similar to a day on the green in Australia.
Yeah, definitely that kind of vibe.
Let's see if
here's a bit in echo.
Oh, hold on, it's on Bluetooth going through there. Wait up 1 second. Bluetooth's awesome until you forget it's on. Roadcaster, disconnect, bang. All right, now we've got some. Which one do you want to play? Good Time. It's done 160.
Fishing in the dark.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's a banger. I love it. Oh, tune. And just so we don't get copyrighted, I'll pause that there. But it's a tune and a half.
Yeah, good vibes. So, yeah, that was really fun. And it was a bit of a weird venue, not going to lie. Really cool venue, but there was some sort of...
Can you explain the venue? It
reminded me of a church or an assembly hall on the inside. Almost like you'd go and see an orchestra there. And I'm sure that that's probably...
If you don't like school, you would have got those school vibes.
Definitely got school vibes from this venue.
I don't want to be here.
But then there were doors that you could open and shut, and then it went on to a beautiful grassy field, which was the day on the green vibes. So it was kind of weird how there was that separation between people partying at the back and then the people sitting in the front just chilling. I'm getting distracted because Lockie's taking stories.
Yes, I am. I'm actually, what I'm doing right at this moment is uploading to our Couple Goals Instagram, which has been very inactive. But I just thought, hey,
our poor Instagram.
To throw Amy off, I will push play on it. And I did exactly that, and it worked.
So anyway, back to my story. Yeah, so it was kind of, I think to get inside, you had to pay a bit more money or you had to be a member of the university or whatever it was.
Yeah, the music venue. Whatever.
So, yeah, it was kind of weird. There wasn't, the inside wasn't full, but then there was tons of people outside. So you almost wanted to be outside. With the vibes.
Well, we were outside for Nico.
Yeah, we went outside. It was great.
Yeah.
People were having so much fun.
And they had a big screen there so you could see it. It was really cool. What's your thoughts on San Fran or Santa Rosa?
Santa Rosa. I'd go back. I want to check out some wineries while we're here.
Yeah, there was some pretty incredible mountains.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. It reminded me a lot of New South Wales. Victoria.
I can see that.
Just the rolling hills, the vineyards, and
almost
countryside.
French as well. Some of the we only say that because it's a vineyard and we've seen a lot of vineyards in France, but it is it's got that cool feel. I went for a run around, and it is disappointing how much they don't look after it just makes you go, where's the taxpayers' dollars going? The roads are really run down and stuff like that. But aside from that, it was quite nice. And everyone was friendly that I got to meet there as well.
Yeah. And then, so that was a bit out of SF. You're not allowed to say San Fran, by the way, if you're, it just like.
Yeah, which is, who cares? People
the locals don't like it if you say San Fran. It just
San
like
Fran.
makes you sound like a tourist.
Do you get
probably?
upset when people say Bris Vegas or Brizzy? Or do you prefer Brisbane?
I mean, I don't care.
Exactly.
But apparently the locals don't say San Fran. They say SF.
That's all I've got to say on the matter.
So anyway, we went into SF after. We had a day off because our flight was late. It was the red-eye flight, which is always lovely. And we got to experience San Francisco. Lockie, it was your first time there?
It was my first time there, and it was interesting. You hear so many things about San Fran. Like, obviously, there's a tech space that everyone raves on about Silicon Valley. We didn't get to see a heap, though. Like, when we went downtown, obviously, you know, the one thing we wanted to see, which is sad, was, like, the fentanyl crisis. Which, I don't know, are we supposed to... I'm talking about it anyway, because you see a lot on, like, YouTube shorts and stuff of just, like, how bad fentanyl is wreaking havoc. And there's meant to be a lot of places in San Francisco. San Francisco specifically and Los Angeles have a lot of homelessness, like Skid Row, and
yeah, it's a real problem.
It's
I'm not sure how
coming from Australia where it's there, but it's not as prominent. It's quite eye-opening. Like you see, so essentially fentanyl is destroying the country, like the people who are using it. And these people are literally like zombies that are killed, like standing up but folded over. It's called like the fentanyl fold. And I wanted to see whether it was real or whether it was like sensationalized on YouTube. So we went driving around and lo and behold, we saw it.
Yeah, it's not hard to find, that's for sure.
No, it's not hard to find. So it's sad, obviously, for those people. But then also you think on the flip side of like the safety of people walking around the city. Like you read a lot of stuff on, I'm sure you read it on Reddit, but on Twitter, where it's like you're just dodging human feces and stuff. It's not the cleanest place. No,
the last time I was there was like 6 years ago, and it was bad then, but apparently I've been hearing that it had gotten a lot worse in the last, like since COVID really, and then the fentanyl crisis that's happening at the moment. So a lot of people are actually moving out of San Francisco because of that issue. And so it didn't take us long. We just drove downtown and there was like this whole street and it was really eye-opening. It was like...
Oh, what about the guy who was like, this is really sad, but also disgusting, walking down the street, like obviously didn't know, was high as a kite, and pulls a bit of tissue paper out pretty much right in front of our car. So we're parked by, I don't know who was in the shop. Someone was in the shops and proceeded to unbuckle his belt, loosen his pants, and then just wipe his bum
with a napkin.
With a napkin pretty much in front of the car, and then just throws the napkin on the ground. Like that made me feel disgusted.
I know, it was disgusting, but it's also incredibly sad.
Yeah.
You think like that was somebody's baby once.
Yeah, or maybe someone's dad even, like he was relatively old. But so that was a different side to America that you don't grow up in Australia seeing on the movies. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, aside from that, San Francisco is a beautiful city. It's really
Golden Gate
vibrant.
Bridge was cool.
Golden Gate Bridge.
What about George leaving his bag?
Oh my God.
Like so we are driving to one of the lookout places at the Golden Gate Bridge, and it specifically says don't leave any valuables, like a high break-in risk in this car park area. And so we all took our valuables in our backpacks, and we decided that when we got down to like this stairway thing that Shepard were going to do a TikTok, as TikTokers do, and he put his bag over like a light post or a pole or something and put his jumper on top of it just for this TikTok. And anyway, then we proceeded to drive to the next lookout, and halfway down, like 5 minutes later, George is like, crap, my backpack. Did anyone get my backpack? And we're like, no, like, where is it? He's like, shit, I've left it on the pole. So then Liam's flipped the Yui.
Mind you, San Francisco is like the highest theft.
Yeah, and it like
capital.
specifically said this is a high break-in area, like take all your valuables. And just because of that, in your head, you're like, there's no chance this is going to be here. George has his passport in there, like everything that it is, two show laptops for the shepherd and everything. And we're like, of course, this has happened. And we were about to go get lunch as well. So it's like, you know, really throw a spanner in the works. Anyway, we went back and we pulled up and Amy's got out the front of the passenger seat and just sprinted. And luckily she was like
I'm fast.
The knight in shining armor with a backpack on her back when she came back.
Yeah, luckily it was probably more of a high tourist area, so no one had touched it. We were only about 5 minutes, but oh gosh.
Way to get our blood pressure up, George. Way to do it.
Anyway, all's well that ends well. Yeah, so that was pretty fun. And
what else did we do?
We did the red-eye flight, which was
but we got to watch the football. That was fun for us, boys.
Oh, in San Francisco. I was like, I didn't watch
dumplings or something. And we went to watch the Copa America final. So Argentina versus Colombia, I think they played. And Messi obviously injured himself at once. That was a great moment for the Messi legacy. And then we watched England lose again, which they just can never stop losing.
Poor England.
I can't even remember the name. It wasn't the Netherlands. It's gone from me at the moment who they lost to. But we were, anyway, by the time we got to the pub, it was 1-0 to, who was it? Spain. Yeah.
How did I know that?
Yeah, Spain. It was Spain. And then it was 1-1, and then with like 4 minutes to go, Spain scored again, and it was just heartbreak. Like no one there seemed to care. They were all going for Spain, which was weird, but the Brits still haven't won their trophy since 1966.
That's so sad.
It's a little bit of trivia for you. How are you finding holding the mics like this?
I like it.
I think it's way better for some reason because I think I can kick back and get comfortable on the couch a bit more.
Yeah, I quite like this.
It's not as formal.
So what else is coming up, Lockie?
Good segue.
You're
what do we have coming
jet
up?
Off.
Yes, I'm heading back to Australia in a week's time, or in next Saturday.
Less than a week, you'll be off.
Are you going to miss me?
Of course. I'll be all alone because Emma's going to Canada.
Emma and Liam are going to Canada, both of them.
And then it'll just be George, myself and Kathleen.
What are you going to do while I'm gone?
I've got some writing sessions booked. Some for Shepherd, some for me. So I'm pretty happy with that. Just like buckle down and get some work done. It'd be nice to be in Nashville for a month.
Which pretty much our last month. Liam and I were working out yesterday that when we leave for this tour, so we leave, so when I get back, I jet off to Australia for 13 days.
Yeah. You've got a workshop.
Yeah, got a workshop on in Gympie, which is just north of Brisbane, which will be fun. And then we've got some new tenants moving into our place. So
in Toowoomba.
So I'll be sorting that out and then flying back.
Yeah.
And seeing family, of course.
And then we're going on a tour here, basically a West Coast tour. So we're going to hit some cities that we didn't hit on our last
Colorado.
tour.
If you're listening now, you got to get your tickets while they're still going. Let me bring up where they are, where the tour is. You keep filling in the blanks.
So our East Coast tour did so well, and we were shocked that we sold out all but one show, and that was because that was like a 21 plus show.
Yeah.
But so we decided we'd go on the road again and start hitting some cities we haven't been to yet. So
starting out on the 20th, I don't know why America does their dates first their months first and the days.
I know,
it's
confusing.
So on the 20th of August, it starts in Denver, Colorado, then Salt Lake City, Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, San Fran, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago. That'll be our second time there this year.
Yep.
Indianapolis, and then Franklin Theatre here in Tennessee. So that'll be great.
There's some great cities there. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's presented by Chug Music and Independent Artist Group. Who's Independent Artist?
That's our agents here.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So we're really excited for that. And then basically we have to pack up our apartments here because our lease is running out. And we have a show in Australia in Cairns. So that's Savannah and the Round. So actually heading back home for a bit, which is really exciting. And
Again.
Can't wait to go back.
It's been my third time back. It would be your third time back this year as well.
Yes. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm missing home now. So excited to get back.
Do you know what I'm doing when I get back? Like next.
Yes.
What?
You're going to take off your shirt and go for a walk on the river with
That's
a coffee.
what I did in summer. It's winter.
Oh.
So I won't be taking my shirt off.
What are you going to do?
Get a cappuccino and a bagel and sit by the river.
Same thing.
Well, it's not really. I'm not taking my shirt off. But we did forget to talk about one incredible thing that happened on Wednesday night.
Oh.
The ball toss, or the ball presenting of the soccer.
Does it have an official name?
This feels like, I'm going to be completely honest, it was a cool experience like for all of us, but it feels like a job you would give like your nephew.
Yeah.
Like, so before Nashville Football Club played Orlando here in Nashville, Shepherd, or Amy, George and Emma got to walk out the match ball and put it on like a stand, which it feels like something you do in a World Cup final as well, like not just an everyday match, but America is great for entertainment. And they gave you guys the responsibility. What was that like?
A little bit of pressure because you don't want to mess it up. It's really, I don't know, official. They like swap out the balls. So it's like a new ball, hasn't been tampered with. No one's allowed to touch it until George picks it up. So I was carrying the box. George picked it up and placed it on the stand. There is video
footage of it for those who want to see it.
It's very funny. But it was cool because there was like a bit of promotion. They said Australian sibling trio, Shepherd to head of the ball, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just like a bit of a moment, which was cool.
Can I get a moment?
I'm not complaining.
No.
Cool.
Publicity is publicity, right? And experiences, you tick those bucket lists off. Was it on your bucket list?
No, but I'm glad it is there.
It's now on the reverse bucket list. It's done. I like that.
And then we got to enjoy the game from a box, and we met like the CEO,
corporate box experience.
owner of the
If you
team.
haven't been fortunate enough to experience a corporate box yet, the day that you do, I'm going to be so happy for you because it is really a cool experience. We've been very fortunate now to have a lot of them. Like prior to being with you, I'd been in one corporate box to watch the State of Origin, which was also an epic experience.
Yeah.
But now we've seen like Coldplay in a corporate box. So
that was a highlight.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And a lot of football in corporate boxes, but it's just like you're not. To be fair, there's pros and cons actually. Like I love also being in the atmosphere, like especially at the football where they have the crazy supporters or the diehard fans down there with their drums and stuff. Like being in that is a pretty cool experience. You don't get that up there, but like aircon, constant food, free drinks.
It's my kind of way to watch
Yeah,
sport.
it's like pretty fun. That's for sure. I'm just going back through my photos. Like, what have we done over the last 7 days? So much has happened.
So much. The funny thing is so once we get back from...
How crazy is that? I just look at photos as a way to remind me of what's happened.
Yeah, the back half of the year is kind of in limbo for us because
Amy doesn't care what I'm saying.
I'm trying to entertain our guests and you're just looking at your phone.
No, I'm looking at photos, but anyway, carry on.
So back half of the year, we're not quite sure what we're going to be doing. It's a weird feeling. We're in limbo. So we're planning on finishing our Australian trip early November. And so then we've got to work out where we want to be. So Emma is having her big wedding in Mexico.
Second wedding.
In January. It's her second wedding.
One's not enough. Two's.
Well, just to explain that, her father-in-law has Alzheimer's, so they wanted to make sure that he was involved. Plus, if you want to get married in Mexico, you have to get married legally in Australia first. So they're like, why don't we just have a very small wedding, just family in Australia, so that grandparents can be involved, Liam's dad can be involved, and then we can have the big wedding with friends the way that they originally wanted to in Mexico after. So, yeah, that's what they did. And thank God they did because sadly Liam's grandma passed away 2 weeks or within a month of the wedding. So she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and passed very quickly. So that was a bit of a shock for everyone because she was at the wedding having a great time, and it was her final
party,
trip. Yeah. So anyway, they are getting married. They're having their second wedding in Mexico in January. So everyone's very excited for that. But we were thinking we might, because it's winter in Nashville and in America. So it gets absolutely freezing. It snows. Half the country shuts down. People aren't really working or touring in the music industry. So
no.
We were thinking maybe we'll go to Mexico. And
I wonder if that is an opportunity to tour though. Because no one else is, that means you could.
But no one wants to go out.
We went out. We were partying the whole time.
True.
Like I wonder if that is like a hole in the market.
Yeah, I mean, let's explore it because we could always go back to the West Coast where it's not as cold.
True.
Or do like some of the southern. It's so weird because the South states are meant to be warmer, and the more north you go, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
in Australia. But
and I don't particularly want to travel too much more. We've done a fair bit this year. I'd like to have like where we just sit still for 2 months. Would be lovely.
Yeah, so that's why we're thinking maybe we'll go to Mexico early and set up base there. George and I can start doing some more writing for album number 5. We might even bring over a producer so the three of us can just like hone in on album 5. I quite like that idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Anyway,
I do like that.
We will see what happens with that. So stay tuned. Okay. Is it time for my Reddit story?
Yes. I just got a message from George. We're actually going rock climbing this afternoon.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Which I'm terrible at, and I know that I'm not going to be able to move my arms tomorrow, but it will be fun.
Why not? Oh, okay. This is a funny story I came across on Reddit, and I had mixed feelings about it. So I want to know what you think about it, Lockie. The headline is, I saw Drake leaked video in my wife's search history. You remember that?
From the top, please.
I saw Drake's leaked video in my wife's search history.
Mm-hmm.
As the title states, I, male 28, saw this in my wife's Reddit search history. Honestly, I'm a bit crushed about it. This hits all types of insecurities I have with myself, being a little below average. Years ago, we got into an argument because I found out she was texting her ex-husband for like a year. The most pointless things. During that argument, she told me, "You hate him because his doodle is bigger."
Is that what she said?
Yeah. So that further reinforces my insecurities. We have the agreement to no porn in our marriage also. I questioned the things that people write on Reddit, honestly.
I know. I
questioned her why she was looking that up, and she responded that she didn't know what it was about and that she heard it because of the Bobby Alfoff podcast.
I'm not familiar, but...
Alfoff podcast or something, and told me, "You have nothing to worry about." I know I have nothing to worry about because he's a celebrity and whatnot, but I'm a bit hurt. My mind races all over the place, but to top it off, the very first... Okay, I'm not going into that bit.
Why? You got to do it. You got to do it. You can't...
I didn't read this whole thing.
You can't really pick and choose. This has... Everyone in favour at home, Amy has to say this, doesn't she?
Okay, well, if kids are listening, now would be the time to turn it off. Okay. To top it all off, the very first time she masturbates in over a year, it was over a couple of nights after that video came out.
How do you know?
I'm not saying that is what she's looking for, but what if? Okay. Do we need to fill in our listeners as to what the Drake video is?
Yes. Can you do that? Because I'm still wondering what it is.
So when was it? Earlier in the year or late last year, a video was leaked and it was Drake wanking. Wasn't it?
His big...
And he had a massive doodle. And everyone was talking about it. It was trending, like eggplants were trending on Twitter. Everyone was going nuts about the size of Drake's appendage.
Willy.
So that's what this is about. This guy is insecure about...
having a small wiener.
Yeah.
So would you like to know my thoughts?
Yes.
Well, there's so many thoughts that I could give. Like, if my wife had been texting... secretly, I don't care if you'd been texting openly, I'd be like, interesting. What's going on?
Yeah, that's weird.
I find it hard to trust.
I mean, so obviously sometimes you have to text your ex.
Yeah, well, if there's children involved and stuff, for sure.
And
but
there's different situations, like maybe they're still friends.
Yeah, but did he say secretly, or am I just adding that into
well, that's why he's
Well, let's just assume that it's secretly, just to make the story better. So she's secretly, you know what they say, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So she's secretly messaging her ex-husband.
Just pointless things. It wasn't anything bad.
Yeah, like, why? If you're friends, let me know. That's fine. You can be friends, but also, why?
Yeah.
The second thing, you looked at the video. I don't care.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, everyone was talking about it. And
Amy's
so that
watched
makes
it, like,
you
it's probably on
like,
your...
What is this? What is this video that everyone's talking about? Because before you even know what it is, you see like the trending hashtags and you're like, oh, something's going on with Drake. And so I definitely...
And what were your thoughts
You saw
about
the video too, don't
What were your thoughts about the video? Did you...
I can't even remember it, to be honest.
Okay. Should we bring it up?
But if something's trending, you're going to look at it. I think you looked at it too, right?
I didn't, like, I saw a screen grab of it.
Yeah,
I
think
didn't
maybe
need to
we
watch
saw
him
this.
having a fucking...
No, I didn't watch the video. I think
sort of
maybe we saw the same thing because everyone's talking about it.
For sure.
So I don't really blame her for searching that because once everyone's talking about something, if something's trending, you're like, what is this? I need to be in.
And then the fact that she masturbated a couple of days after. Coincidence.
Yeah, mind your own business.
Well, yeah, like, what are you tracking her masturbation? You fucking sicko.
Also, I think this is just him being insecure about it.
You can log that in your Whoop, though, for those who want to know.
And dude, you know what? It's not about the size. It's about how you use it.
Yeah, I think that's more of a you problem than a her problem. Although, to his defense, she did say, you're only jealous of my husband because he's got a bigger penis.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That is a bit of a
cool.
kick me while I'm
and
down
that's like
sort
a bit
of
of
move.
body shaming. I don't really appreciate.
So I think she's a bitch, personally.
It's not the terminology I would use, Lockie.
Well, let's call a spade a spade.
Well, I just think that was the wrong thing.
You wouldn't say that to someone that you love. Like, I would never say to you something that's...
Comparing you with an ex. Like,
exactly.
Big
like,
no.
Because I'm like, well, I respect you. So I think that... And maybe she realized that after the fact and he's just grabbed onto that and held onto it forever.
Yeah, but also, like, he didn't even need to know that.
Yeah.
So essentially she was body shaming her own husband.
Yeah.
Not cool. That definitely calls for a conversation. Not helping his insecurities. But I don't think this has anything to do with Drake.
Yeah, I think you're just sort of looking for evidence to validate your low self-esteem. You've just had couples counselling with Lockie and Amy. Thank you, Drake.
Oh, dear. That's a fun
Well,
one.
that was that.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
That was fun.
I'm glad that we're on a roll with couple goals again.
Yeah, we'll have to do one before I fly out, and then maybe we
back.
can do one. No, we can do one on Skype.
Oh, that'd be fun.
They're so much easier.
Do you know what we are due for?
They're so much easier to edit online.
Yeah. We're due for a live video with our Patreon members.
Mm-hmm.
So we should set that up at some point soon because...
Why don't we do this Friday afternoon our time? Do we have anything on? Let me just check before I say that. Friday afternoon our time, which would be Saturday morning in Australia. So Saturday the 27th. Yeah, we could do.
We're going to look at our calendar and organise that because we are well overdue for a live feed with you guys. Mm-hmm. And if you're not a member of the Patreon page, get on board because that's where we post the video of this podcast plus lots of extras on there.
Awesome. Well, you heard it there first. Also, for those who are watching on Patreon and YouTube and all those places, what do you think of our more casual vibe? We've got the mics in hand. We're kicking back on the couch. I quite like it.
I quite like it too.
I think like the formal conversations are better for my podcast because they're more serious, whereas this is
just a bit of
casual
fun,
and candid.
Bit of
I quite like it. Anyway, that's enough from us. Over and out. 10-4 Rubber Ducky. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, do all of those things. Uru.
Uru.